It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn of our endings. Guidance.
That's what I've been doing.
All right, we're back. It's another final Wednesday of a month, and the month is May 2024. So we're coming up on June. I'm Dwayne, and of course, here's Stacy, the
Did you
Black
say
Feather.
we're back or we're black?
We're black too. I mean,
Oh,
on
We're
okay.
back
the
and black.
inside.
Well, I'm wearing black. I'm wearing black.
I like to think I'm a little bit of everything: black, Asian, gay, straight. I'm everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing
And
but
according to
diversity
my
here.
blood test, I'm 30% butter. So I mean, I got the best of both worlds.
Well, in one of Keone and I's recordings that we did for Demystify, he explained how he was dipped in sugar when he was a child, and so this is why he's so sweet. And I'm like, okay, I think I was like dipped in vinegar or something because there's
Okay,
nothing
there are
sweet about
certain
me.
things I say on certain channels that should not be crossed, but that's okay.
And I thought Shirley Temple had it bad.
Okay. I didn't know that talking about sugar was a bad thing.
Oh,
Too
Keone.
funny. Too funny. Well, hi all. Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. So excited to be here again, Dwayne, for our famous mashup. So many of my clients, my followers, my peeps get really excited about our collaboration. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
grateful that they are excited about it because I'm always excited to do it. So this is awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun. And it's funny how uncanny some of the predictions that we make are. And I don't think about them. And then, if you ever look back, it's like, wow, it's really crazy how, and because we just let it flow.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Which I
Now,
think is great.
does this message from Jose say you got to roll with my butter pecan Ricans or butter pecan Ricans?
I do roll with your butter pecan Ricans. Porque hablo español. Y cuando hablo español, me dicen que tengo acento puertorriqueño. Yo no sé por
Oh,
qué.
Jose, listen to that. I wish I could speak Spanish, Jose.
Tú
I wish I could
tú
speak
puedes
Spanish.
aprender el español, es muy fácil.
Yeah, I speak none of it. I speak English and I speak dog. I have 2 cats. I don't even speak cat. I just let them do their thing. I speak dog and I speak English.
Yeah, well,
So how was your May?
May's been cool. It started in Mexico, which was so cool. And met the coolest people, had the best sushi, had so much fun in the ocean, got burnt to a crisp, though. Met a swinger, met 3 Indian ladies from Toronto. We had fun with them.
Oh,
We danced all
cool.
night. We had such a great time. So that's May, I think, for everybody. Probably sounds very familiar to most people for May. But May was wild with all kinds of Taurus stuff. I don't know if you felt it, but it was very heavy. And as soon as we hit Gemini, it felt lighter. Everything just feels so airy and light. And there's so much happening in June astronomically and astrologically that it's going to be a great month for anybody, well, for everybody, because we all made it through that.
Yeah, no, I totally get you with that. That was kind of how it felt too. There was all this hope and promise for Taurus season because it was supposed to be lighter than what we had come out of, and it was.
Yeah.
But there were like moments where I was like, "Oh my God, like am I in the twilight zone? Is this ever going to end?" And you're right. As soon as we shifted into Gemini, and part of that is, I have mostly air in my natal chart, right? So I'm what am I trying to say? I'm at home when I'm in the air signs.
Yeah.
But it's like the day or the day after we went into Gemini season, I just got like so much clarity on something that has been really upsetting me for like way too long, for like 2 years.
And that was
it's like
probably May 20th or May 21st for people.
Yes. And there was just all of this like, and then every day there's been like a further clarity, a deeper clarity,
Yeah.
not afraid to make choices, to make decisions, to really move forward. But I will say my motivation still really sucks around work. And I don't know what that is, because we're supposed to be in this like, creativity haven, and I've got all sorts of things coming up, and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. I've had plenty of time to
Yeah.
get shit done, and I'm not doing it. I'm watching house reruns. That's what I've been doing, is watching house reruns, laying on the back porch with the fur babies. I've only been to the pool twice.
See,
which
that's
is
the Gemini thing. Gemini is good with communication, with coming up with ideas, with starting stuff, but organizing and getting it all and disciplining themselves to do it is the hardest thing.
Excuse you.
And that's what comes from Taurus, is that discipline. So you end up pushing yourself physically, mentally. And then now we have the time to create. Gemini brings about
See,
that time to create.
This is why sometimes horoscopes drive me crazy. I know 3 lazy ass Tauruses that aren't worth a can of paint, and I'm a Gemini, and I find offense to what you just said.
Well, see, that's because you're taking it literally, and it doesn't work that way.
You don't know how I take it, Dwayne.
Oh, I know how you take it. It's all over the internet, honey. You can't hide that. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Just because it's dark don't mean I can't see it. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh,
this
Lord.
this is one of the reasons why I love doing this show so much, because it's like my true belly laughter for the whole fucking month. I love it. I don't know if anyone else gets a kick out of it, but I really do.
I'm glad we've managed to bridge the gap between
and I know
comedy
what
and
you mean.
astrology.
You always tell people you need to see your full natal chart, because stuff like this, yeah, you need Cappies and Taurians to get it done. I don't. I'm a Gemini, and I get shit done.
No, but that's not because
You
you're
probably
Gemini.
have Cap and Taurian stuff in your chart.
Here we go.
that affect
Yeah.
that.
See, what happens
He's like,
is
I don't want to listen to this.
he doesn't
It's
care.
because I had a great grandfather. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's nature versus nurture is what you're saying.
And you know what? Here's the thing, though.
Nurture.
But here's where you get caught when you do my line of thinking. Somebody will eventually say, "Well, what was your grandfather?" And then you end up finding out, "Oh crap, he was a Taurus."
Well, I think he was an earth sign.
Well, see, this is how it works. If you're a Gemini and we're in the time of Taurus, that just means that we're underneath where those planets and stars are. That's Taurus. And so you could be a Sagittarius, you can be a whatever, but you're going to be able to take that discipline if that's what you want and make it work. Then we go into Gemini, which is less of a discipline and more of an artistic creative sign. And if you want to be more artistic creative, it's easier for you then, no matter what sign you are. If you happen to be a Gemini, again, because of the natal chart, that's only 1/9 of the planets that rule you, and it's 1/15 or 20th of the different areas of the chart that you get when you do your final chart. So anybody says anything about Gemini doesn't mean it's you, because that's just your sun sign. You're so many other things, and we know now you're a Sagittarius rising, which is why you're such a bitch. So it all makes sense now.
And he's like, I rue the day that I agreed to do this show.
What sucks is you can't see Keone's face. You can only see our faces, and he got this. He likes to press the wah, 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 but then he gets the look that you don't even need the sound for.
Oh my God, too funny. What is,
Keone Productions!
we're winners. We're winners. What did we win? So, Dwayne, fill us in a little bit on what is coming up in June, what we can expect.
So June 2nd, Mercury is in Taurus and Neptune is in Pisces, which means that you basically get messages from your own, your own desires. You get messages of how to make them happen. So that's June 2nd. Then June 3rd, Mercury goes into Gemini, which is making communication easier, because Mercury is Gemini. So it's in its home planet now. That means communication, June 3rd, for the next 2 weeks, is all about, you can gossip, you can chat, you can find out information you've been waiting to find out from people who are secretive, who don't tell you things.
Mm.
Now is that time, or June 3rd, and for about 2 weeks. And then it
I'm
goes
already feeling that.
yeah, it really starts that. And then June 6th, there's a new moon in Gemini, which means that you can really, um, the best thing to do for that is suggested to do affirmations starting June 6th. So let's say you want to make more money. So your affirmation might be, I make money abundantly and easily, effortlessly. You say that every night before you go to bed and every morning when you wake up, starting at June 6th, and you'll start to notice the money start to grow. And that's just manifestation. That's not having anything to do with astrology. The astrology just helps because that moon is there, which will then kind of calm down any other stuff going on and allow you to focus on what you really want. And that's how you manifest, you know? So take advantage of this new moon in Gemini and communicate or find out communications that you've been looking to get. Try to find people that you're looking for. Those types of things are going to be really good. And then June 8th, Mars enters Taurus. Now, this is temptation. This is several weeks of playing the long game. So if you're somebody who is getting into a relationship, let's say, June 8th, and for a couple weeks right there is the time to make your impression on that person. If that's what you want to do, make them your lover, your romantic partner. That's the kind of thing that you want to really kind of put into play. And then in the 16th, Venus goes into Cancer. So what happens there is that's love, romance, all of that kind of stuff. So if you play it right and you use Taurus starting June 8th, and you really try to impress upon somebody that you've been dating or you're trying to get them to notice you romantically, and then June 16th, you kick it into high gear, chances are that might, turn into something good. Now, keep in mind, this is assuming that everybody understands that no means no, okay? And if it's no, then I don't care what the hell the planet is. Get the hell on to someone else, because why? There's plenty of fish in the sea, okay?
Yeah.
So, but if yes is there, then that's a great time to make it happen. So, just wanted to make that clear.
That's awesome. I actually have a question for you, and I love
Yeah.
that you said that. I've been noticing for a while now, I've just had like a personal sort of experience in my life, just around like community and sort of friendship circle stuff. I feel like I've lost a lot of my confidence in like who I am as a friend, how to be a friend in the ways like what I'm doing and giving. It feels sometimes like there's either resistance or whatever. And I'm not saying it with everybody. I've actually been really in a space of expanding my friendship circle. And I feel like this has been more with like more established friendships. Is there a time in this Gemini and Cancer month where maybe I can like really set the intention to do some of that, that confidence building work? To help me with that. And I'm sure that I'm asking this question. I'm sure that there are other people out there watching this that have been running through the same stuff. So that's why I'm asking it today.
Yeah, well, what I just said about romance and everything, it works exactly the same with friendship. It works the same with family relationships. So the only reason I chose to talk about the romance part was because I always think there's somebody out there looking for love, and they always go to the astrology, But this time it's what it is an openness for focus, an openness for communication. And what a better time to, if it's an existing relationship, to go to that person and to say, hey, I've been feeling like I want to be a better friend. How could I be a better friend to you? I just want you to answer that question and see what happens, because they're going to be the most open to talk about and to communicate their actual feelings, rather than maybe feeling a little bit oppressed by another time to not even want to bring something up like that because it might hurt your feelings or something like that. But your communication will be clear too, and letting them know that you're open to receiving criticism. So it works. Oh, cool. We have a reading.
We have a horoscope for Virginia Hendricks,
Ooh.
and that June 21st.
Oh, geez. Well, she is on the cusp there. And let me just quickly look and see what's going on. Oh, That's the full moon in Capricorn. So this is the time. Let's see, what's her name?
I don't know. Remember,
Virginia.
it's
Oh,
internet, so it could
Virginia.
be
Okay.
Virginia, and it couldn't be. Yeah, but I
Well,
think it is. That looks like a real name.
it's all about hard work kind of coming to fruition. So June 21st is when that goes into kind of kicks into gear. So your birthday and moving forward is the time to really reap the rewards of every bit of energy and desire that you've been putting in. And this could be over the last few months, last few years. It can also mean that it's time to take someone home and ravage the shit out of them. That is the best
Ooh,
thing
I
you
like
can do
that
with that
advice.
power.
I'll
And if
take
you're
that
married,
advice.
do it to your partner. If you have a if you don't, find someone. I mean, be safe. Bring a condom, but for God's sake, don't be stuck sitting at home throwing your boots in the dryer and sitting on top of it. Like there's a lot of warm-blooded people out there just waiting to get it on. So.
Well, Virginia, I don't know if you were expecting that kind of guidance today in your horoscope, but wow, it's delicious. You're gonna
Clean
have
up on aisle 6.
probably sitting in her car or her house, wherever she's at, going, "Oh my God, like, oh my God."
Oh, we got another
All
caller.
right, who's next?
Oh, September 29th. Oh, well, do you want to pull a card for Virginia, Stacy?
Did Virginia want a card?
No, just a horoscope.
Just a
Just
horoscope.
horoscope.
And so
Okay.
Nikki just wants a horoscope as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty.
All right, so September 29th, that is a Libra. And wait, is it? No, it might be a Scorpio.
Yep.
It's a Scorpio, I think.
No, that's Libra.
Is it Libra?
Yep, that's Libra.
September 29th? All right, well, so let me just make sure, because I always, September 29th, sign. It's got to be a Libra, right?
Yep, it's Libra.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't know why that's messing with me. I guess because it goes later in November. Okay. So, Libra, what's going on astrologically? And I don't know if you have any desires to know specifics, but astrologically, you are, well, it depends on if you're with somebody or not with somebody. The first thing you can do is wear green. That's your power color. So wear green sometime this month. Let's say if you're going to an interview and you don't want to be told no, or you want to get a parking spot because you're going to a big event and you want to find a good parking spot, or any of those types of things. Wear green. That will help you a lot. There may be some you're in an earth sign. An air sign, and you are an air sign. So there's going to be good communication and stuff like that. But as usual, Libra, you might end up feeling like, why do I do so much shit for people and nobody does shit for me? Like that kind of feeling. So don't be the person who's like, I'm not doing anything for anybody anymore. They can all go fuck themselves and I'm not doing, just stay on the right path, because you will get justice. You will get what you deserve. But that's the challenge, is staying on top of being the good person, the person that does the right thing. And that sometimes means animals for you Libras. So if you have a chance to help animals this month, this is the time to do it, or to get involved in some way helping animals. And wear green. So
I love that. Wearing green. So green is the heart chakra color.
yeah.
So I love that it's, wearing green. It's also like green grass, growth, abundance. We think about nature, obviously. It's a calming color, a calming energy, but it's also, if you think about growth, we think of it sometimes as calming and soothing, but actually there's a lot of action that comes through a green color. And how interesting, I'm just noticing her Facebook logo, her picture is green.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I think that's
look at
really
that.
interesting that you called that up.
See that?
That was Virginia. Sorry, that was Virginia that had the green. You just gave all that information to Nikki. Sorry, I got screwed up. There was something else on the screen. So I thought that was interesting.
We have someone else that wants both.
Wait, hold on. That's not your job. Stay in your lane. Jose, in comments to the first horoscope that you gave, Dwayne said, "Bring a glove and catch some fly balls." Fuego.
I don't know what he means, but I'm forcing me to believe him.
I already have the third person who chimed in to get the last free horoscope reading, so we're gonna give Kim uh, guidance or tarot, whichever way it guides you, Stacy. And Nikki said green is my color for sure. So there
Good.
we go.
Perfect. Love it.
He's on top.
Well,
So
I'd love to be able to give somebody some
well,
guidance.
yes,
So
Kim. So
yeah.
tarot or guidance, whatever you feel like, wherever it takes you.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to pull a card for you, Kim, and I feel like focusing on what I keep hearing is not focusing on the Cancer energy towards the end of the month. I feel like right now, what's really important for you is the next 2 weeks. So we're going to focus on what Gemini is going to do for you. Ooh, delicious. Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles is a card of reinvestment. And I love this card because it's basically saying, I've arrived at something and I'm really excited to celebrate my wins, but my wins are not as celebratory unless I'm able to share it and share it with the people that I like or share it with the people that I love. And I feel like this next 2 weeks, you're going to have 2 to 3 wins and you're really going to be, this is kind of an interesting message. You're going to be seeking out either the right person to celebrate because it's kind of like, sometimes we have those personal wins that we don't want to share with the whole freaking world, but you call your bestie and say, oh my God, you're not going to believe this or this or this. I feel like you're going to have a win like that where you're going to need to seek out a particular person. I'm also hearing you're going to have a win and you're going to kind of look around at people in your world, in your life, and you're going to say, wow, there isn't a single person here that I necessarily want to share this win with. And what does that, that reflection, what does that tell me? What does that mean for me? And it's not like a judgment. It's not like, oh my God, you have no friends. I feel like for you, it's more of a realization, an aha moment for you where you're recognizing, wow, I put so much into others. I don't know that I'm necessarily getting that reciprocal energy back. And it might just be with 1 or 2 people. I don't want to give you the impression that, the sky is falling, right? But I'm definitely feeling that this energy of reinvestment is going to be huge in terms of your own energy levels, in terms of who I want to share this win with. And then I feel like there's a big win that you have that you're going to share with everybody, and everybody is going to think it's great and awesome and wonderful. I have to point out, even though your message wasn't about wearing green, that we've got a color here that has a lot of green. So I feel that there's some significance there for you too, Kim, when we're talking about this energy, because I feel that you are in a real energy and I want to say an era, so to speak, your own personal era of growth, self-awareness growth, real deep dive into the role that you're playing in your own life, the roles that you're playing in others' lives. And the next 2 weeks, I feel, are really going to be enlightening for you on that. And you're going to feel pretty excited about I want to say the observations that you make. And I feel like you're going to have some pretty clear, in the moment, inspirations on what the next steps are. So I feel like this isn't one of those things where we reflect for months and months and months at a time. This is going to be oh my God, I get the reflection, I get the aha, and I'm also getting at the same time exactly what I need to do with this information or how I'm going to apply this information in my life. I feel like the next 2 weeks in particular are really lucky for you, really powerful. You're going to be able to be super productive. I feel like you're going to grow in leaps and bounds on that personal level, some things that you've maybe been struggling with. You're clearing the decks with that and you're really opening up into the new. So I just can't express that enough. The next 2 weeks are awesome. And then towards the end of June, sort of when we're going into that Cancer season, what I see is all that you're receiving from Source, the downloading that you're receiving from Source. I feel like now you're giving some of that away. You're giving it back out to the community, to your people. finding ways to be able to sort of share of that wisdom. Again, because when we have a win, it's best enjoyed when we can share it with others. And so I feel that it's kind of a twofold message. Wow, I hope that makes some sense to you. That was just really cool.
Can you tell me? So Jose says Six of Pentacles is a Taurus card. So I, of course, me being an amateur, I don't know what that means. If you pull a Taurus card and I'm a Gemini, I mean, what does that mean that it's a Taurus card?
So a Taurus card simply means that with the suit of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy. So if you think of the element of earth, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo are all earth signs. So the element, they're connected to the element of earth. So this is Six of Pentacles. So this is an earth card and an earth sign. And Jose, he's a professional tarot reader. He's awesome. So what he's basically saying is he's gone down even further than what I've gone down with the tarot. I read it pretty intuitively. He's gone the astrological path as well, that each card is associated with a particular sign. And often it's associated with particular moon phases and things like that as well. So yeah, the tarot and astrology really are very complementary to one another.
I love how the card is almost complementary to your fingernail paint of choice.
Why, yes, it is. Ooh.
Talk about psychic.
Vanna White. Vanna White.
How did you know that was going to happen? You know, she sees a lot of things coming, except when people are going to break up with me. She never sees that coming. So she's no help.
I don't see it with myself either. So sorry, I can't help you out there.
Well, isn't that Hollywood fortune telling 101 that you can't tell your own fates yourself?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I'm too close to my own stuff. Well, you know what, though? I call bullshit on some of that. I get a lot of clarity and guidance on certain things, like when I'm asking for the tune in and whatever. But if I'm emotionally attached to something and I can't get out of that emotional, you talked about the boots in the dryer. Now I'm thinking spin cycle. But if you can't get out of that emotional spin cycle, you're not going to be able to tune in for shit for yourself, because
That's why you can't do it for family and people like that you feel very strongly about, because it messes with your flow.
Yeah.
So it's easier to do it with strangers than it is to do it with people who are close to you, because that emotional investment is not, or could cloud, like, you know, the aunt that you can't stand wants to ask you for advice. There's a lot in the way, right?
Well, I'll share with you
that's where you always pull the death card.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. No, I'll share with you a real life example of that. I have a cousin who, you know, we've kept in touch over the years, and a cousin, and then like a second cousin, like they're my cousin's child, basically my cousin's son, and I've kept in touch with his son. And there was something going on with my cousin's wife that was a health issue. I would say a health crisis in many ways. And then there was also good news that they were expecting their first baby, you know, that he was expecting his first baby. And so he reached out to me through Facebook, actually, just to kind of say, you know, hey, and just so you know, this is what's going on. And, you know, if you get anything, you know, on this. And I was like right away, my whole body went, ugh! And I waited like 4 days. I woke up with a dream in my head for him about the baby stuff, and I sent it to him. I got it completely wrong. Like, I got this little boy, they have a little girl. I saw all of this stuff. And I said to him after I sent him everything, and he was like, oh, you know, and he was so sweet. He was like, well, thank you. You know, we're doing this or we're doing that. And I'm like, this is why I don't read for family, because everything just gets so convoluted. When I read for other people, there's no emotional attachment to it. So I give you what I get. But I was definitely feeling in my body tension, because I was concerned about, you know, my cousin's wife and what she was going through, and, you know, concerned about some of the stuff that was coming up with the pregnancy. So yeah, that was like, I broke that rule, and now I know why. Like, it's always, I break the rule every 5 years or so. And then I remember, oh yeah, that's why I don't do that. So it happens to the best of us. Yeah. Reading while emotional is a no-go. Absolutely. I've learned to be able to, like part of it I think is like my compartmentalization. I can compartmentalize if I've got something emotional going on in my own life. I can put that to the side and tune in for someone I don't know. But if as soon as I know you and there's any kind of connection, I'm like, yeah, no, we're gonna have to reschedule.
You know what
No,
helps with that? Cocaine.
oh my God.
Really? Maybe I need to
Listen,
keep a little
wait,
bit of that in my toolkit.
hold on. I have to do the
For
disclaimer. The words of Dwayne does not are not expressed by Keone Productions or the Black Feather Intuitive. All right,
correct.
now moving
Correct.
right along. I want a moment of honesty from both of you. All right, we're ready for honesty time.
Oh, we've
All right.
always been.
So Dwayne does horoscopes on here, but we know Dwayne does tarot as well. Okay, so when people come into you, and let's just be honest, what is that question that you get asked that you're like, oh God, not this again? Like
Who, me?
I know some people, some psychics that I know that I've talked to, they don't want people asking about health issues like at all. They're like,
Oh.
please don't ask me about health issues because they don't want to give someone guidance and then something bad happens and it's like you told me. So is there something out there, a question that you get? And Jose, I'd love your answer too. Is there something that someone will ask you and you'll do it or you won't do it, but you're like, oh, not this question?
Well, I find that people don't want to know about health or if they're going to die. You know, some people get scared about that. They're like, I don't even want a reading because I don't want to know anything bad. And I always tell them, I don't ask for anything bad. I only ask for positive information from whatever guide is or universal energy gives me the stuff in my brain. I ask it to only give me good stuff. But what I used to work for an on the phone company with the Janet Jackson thing in California. For 3 months, I did that. I sat at home and I listened to people call in and every single, so 9 out of 10 people calling, and I would do maybe 20 in a day. 9 out of 10 people calling were women. The 9 women would ask about a man in their life that was either not giving them enough attention or not showing that they love them or whatever. And I'd have a lot of women like, well, me and my kids, are in this situation. I'm just waiting to find out what he's doing. And even without being psychic, you have to be able to be like, honey,
I
don't put
feel
it
like
all on him.
I feel like when that starts, you want to take your psychic tarot hat off and just talk to them like a person. Like, listen,
Right.
like when you get the question of, will I ever find? Well, Stacy got a question about 2 years ago on Facebook, and it was when I first started with her, and I wasn't, I didn't know how this works. And the question was, I've been spending so much time with this person. He's not answering my calls. He's not answering my texts. He hasn't communicating for 2 months. Is it over? And I just want to say, you don't need guidance for that. It's over.
Right. That's what I mean. You don't even have to be to know about astrology or anything to be like, I can tell just as a human being that you need to get rid of this asshole. You know what I mean? So that was the most, and then the one man that would call would inevitably always ask about the job or the income. So it was never about a woman or any of that. It was always about the income, and the women were always about the men. It was uncanny, and that's why I had to stop because I just felt like I can't deal with this anymore. It's the same crap over and over again.
This says yes and no. Specific timeline questions do not work
Right.
for me. Specific timeline questions. Yeah, that's a Hollywood thing. I always say Hollywood because that's the thing you learn when you see the fortune tellers with the crystal balls and
Yeah.
in Hollywood, and they give you dates and timelines, and that's not how that works.
Right. It's not like that. It's more about a feeling and an emotion and that kind of thing.
Stacy's never going to say July 21st, 2027.
Right?
Your cat's going to die.
Actually, from time to time, that kind of stuff does come through for specific people. It's at random. I never know why, but I always caveat that and say, listen, don't hang your hat on this. I'm getting this specific date, but
Sense.
We might think, oh, this is the date that I'm going to meet the man, or I'm going to do the thing, or I'm going to get the news. But the date might actually be something more esoteric than that the guides are saying, this is when your life is going to really pivot. And this is going to be the energetic moment. So I always like to tell my clients, listen, our timing and divine timing are often two different things because we work on free will and our own power of choice. We're constantly making choices and shifting our path. It's not a straight line, it's not linear where, I say yes to this and I go this way. I say no to that and I go this way. And then I say yes and then I do another yes and then another yes and then I do a no. Like it just, I always like to say, listen, I can give you a general gist of the timing, but don't get hung up on it because you could make a choice based on our conversation today and say, she's full of shit. I don't like what she said, so I'm going to go a different route. And you put yourself on a different timeline. Great. That's what psychic guidance is about, is
Right.
if you hear something you don't like, now you have the power. You had the power before, but now you have the knowledge and maybe the confidence to make a different choice, right? And then, I let go of the outcome with people because I have gotten people come back to me and say, you said this and this and this, and I went and did this, and then none of that happened. And I'm like, okay, good for you. I'm glad that it didn't work out the way I said it was going to work out and that you're happier with this outcome. Or, sorry, you didn't follow the guidance because you made a different choice and this is what happened. And we explored that as well. It's not my circus, not my monkeys,
I went
right?
left instead of right, and this is what happened. And I totally understand what you mean. I was meaning, because I've seen you have dates. You've even done stuff for me with dates. What I was talking about was more of that specific, the 27th of August, 2027 at 3 p.m., a red car is going to come by, the kind of thing that they do, which is kind of great.
Oh, is that the door? I'll get the tea. Stacy, you get the door.
All right, I'll get the door.
It's actually Nikki who got a horoscope earlier. She's in line to get a card pull, and then I have a horoscope for you, Dwayne. So a card pull for Nikki.
All right, awesome. Okay, Nikki. So,
and Nikki was September 29th, just to remind you of that.
Our Libra.
September 29th.
She's the green girl.
How funny, because this is the card that just fell out and it's the Libra card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I really feel like this month for you is really about you being completely true to yourself, completely 150% authentic. And I'm not suggesting that you aren't authentic on a regular basis. This is just more of I want to say it's like a reminder. So what I keep hearing in my head is when somebody invites you to something and you really don't feel it, don't go. Like, honor what you're feeling and honor, when we talk about justice, it's truth. What is my truth? How funny. I just did a spoiler alert, July. I'm working on the July newsletter for my tribe, basically my people. And the theme is truth. So spoiler alert on that. We're going to get something about truth. But that's what really is coming through here is, what is your truth? And if you're not able to, like, I feel like this month, it's like I see you in a cocoon, and not that you're hermiting. I see you being out and about in the world and doing your stuff and having some really great times and being pretty extroverted in a lot of ways, or very social, maybe is a better way to put that. But I'm also seeing that alongside all of that, you're really tuning in and evaluating, does this feel good to me? Does it not feel good to me? If it doesn't, I'm just going to say no, and no is a complete sentence. If it does feel good to me, I'm going to say yes. Okay, let's just keep doing this. I want more of this in my life, and let me find more ways to incorporate that. I'm also really feeling like when we're talking about that, what is my truth? You're also not doing it from that, I want to say, deeply emotional place. You're doing it more from, I want to say, a place of, I want to enhance what I've been working towards for so long, and that I'm seeing now starting to come to fruition. So how can I enhance that? And I need to be clear on my truth in order to be able to put the focus on that and allow it to grow. I'm also hearing that there's going to be a situation that comes up about, speaking of timing, about mid-month. I am seeing the 14th. So funny, we were just talking about that. It doesn't always come through that way, but it is coming through for you. I'm seeing on the 14th, there's a kind of like an unfortunate, on the surface, it appears like it's an unfortunate situation that you have to kind of step into and make a decision about. It's almost like, two people, it's about two other people, and for whatever reason, either it's like a mediation that goes awry, or one person just isn't available at that time and you have to kind of step in and make the call. But I keep feeling like you want to really put yourself in the space of, if it was me, what would I be feeling? What would my truth be? So make the choice based on what your truth is, because your truth is exactly what the situation and the individuals that are involved in the situation need. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be a bit of an unfortunate situation on the surface. But on the flip side, I feel like it brings a lot of positive attention to you when this happens. I keep seeing sort of like a work thing where people take notice in a really positive way. And I feel like what's going to happen is it's going to actually give you some more leadership opportunity. So be open to that. And that's coming through because you are really evaluating in kind of every choice that you're making or every experience that you're having. Is this my truth? What is my truth about this experience? What is the truth in my body? What is the truth in my heart? What is the truth in my soul telling me about this choice or this experience or this person? So I feel like it's going to be a really cool month for you, where you're out and you're living it up, and there's also this part of you that is, I want to say, in observance and reflection, and then clarity, basically, around what happens with that moving forward. Also, justice is an 11, which is like a 2, but we can also say it's a little bit connected to the Gemini as well, because the Gemini is the twins. So I think that's really interesting too, the synchronicity that's coming up there. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Very cool that you got the Libra card. So really be true to your Libra.
So weird that you said that there would be another thing on June 14th, because that's the sun is in Gemini and it conjuncts with Mercury in Gemini, which is Gemini. So it's like two different people. It's you know how it's crazy, and that can cause suspicion, paranoia, all that stuff. So it's interesting that you said June 14th.
Yeah. Wow. Kooky.
Crazy.
Kooky.
Unbelievable.
Jose says psychic guidance with a tarot reading is A plus. Nikki responds, it really does. Thank you. And Dwayne, sorry that it took me a little bit to get back to you, but we have. Oh no, I lost my horoscope. I had somebody for a horoscope and I lost.
Oh, damn.
Oh, there it is, right there. Terry, December 4th.
Oh,
So
Sagittarius. Like
let's,
me.
because she may be our last one for today. So let's go ahead and give her the double whammy of horoscope and guidance or tarot wherever you feel like going, Stacey.
Yeah, definitely. So December 4th, that's a Sagittarius, like I said. And June, let's see, I'm looking at everything that's happening. And June 6th, that new moon in Gemini for you is probably going to be a really good time to start you probably have already felt, like we were talking about, the opening up, the airiness of everything as a Sagittarius, but now it's going to get even better. And that is when it's really important for you to put into writing the things that you need to basically that you might need to prove later. So keep that in mind, whether it's for getting more money at work, or a friend who says, did I buy the ticket? Did you buy the ticket? Whatever it is, that kind of stuff. You want to, June 6th on is the time to really make sure that you got that stuff all locked down. Then with all this Gemini stuff, we are in our glory. I mean, Sagittarius and Gemini are so great together. So your best bet is to really try to get all of the stuff that you want to get done, all the ideas you may have had, all of that stuff, get it all on paper, get it worked out so that you can put those plans into production and start getting them done. Because for a Sagittarius, that's the biggest part, is the production part. It's the trip and not the outcome. And then the outcome is fun, and then you're bored with it and it's on to the next thing. So this is the month to get all the ideas worked out, get all of the stuff planned out and produced so that when you actually go forward and do those things, that you have everything you need at hand and you can make it work. In relationship and work, Sagittarius is in a really good spot too. I would say that probably don't feel so comfortable that you lose track of the romance or the career, because you're so comfortable, everything's working out fine. Stay on top of it, maybe go the extra mile so that next month or the month after, when things kind of pull back a little bit in those areas, you've made up for it in a certain way and kind of taken care of it before it ever happened. So, and your color is purple, Sagittarius, so deep purple, kind of like this really deep one above me right here. That's our color right there, and that is royal purple, they call it. So wear that and you can't go wrong. I hope that you like that one, Sagittarius Terry.
I love that, Terry. Well, purple is my signature color, so I
Ooh.
love that that's a Sagittarian thing, because as you know, I always say I love me my Sages, and I think there's a part of me when I look at my chart, my Sag plays a pretty prominent role in that. So I think that's probably a big part of why I like the
And your
purple
nails
color.
have the Gemini color on them right now, the
Oh,
turquoise.
this is a Gemini color?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That was not on purpose. That was
See?
a I went to get my nails done and she's like, "Ooh, we have some new colors in." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's the one I have to have. It looks
Yeah, it's
island-like."
this one right here. That's the Gemini kind of
Yes.
color
Oh my
area.
goodness. I love that. Yeah. Happy accident, right?
Yep.
All right, Terry. So I was shuffling the cards while Dwayne was talking, and I got for you the wheel. And the wheel is the wheel of fortune, right? And what I'm feeling for you, especially in I keep feeling like the third week of June is going to be a really potent time for you, where I want to say that it's like the wheels of fate, right? The wheels of fortune, that it turns in your favor. This card really, for me, represents a lot of divine order and timing. And I feel like the third week of June is really bringing about what I keep hearing in my head is like a switcheroo in your favor. So don't be surprised. And in fact, this is how I'm going to put it to you. Third week of June, you can have your plans, but treat them like guidelines and kind of wake up in the morning and say, what is the adventure that I'm going to have today? Here's my general plan, but what else is going to cross my path during this time? I don't want to be married to my plan or committed to my plan 150%. I want to be a little more spontaneous in my approach to things, because I feel like things that you maybe either put to the side or decided, okay, I guess it's not happening, and you've forgotten about it. I feel like this is the week where there are going to be some things that come up around that. People from the past that you're really excited to see. Sometimes people from the past, it's like, what? I don't want that. This is like people that you're excited to see, and it's a positive experience. This is going to be coming up around that third week of June. So I feel like the divine order and timing is happening where you're going to start to see the fruition of a lot of things that you've, kind of over the years been putting into practice, and quite honestly have either forgotten about, or maybe you even gave up on it a little bit, thinking, okay, I've asked for it and I guess it's not the right timing, so I'll just let it go and move on to something else. This is saying, hey, the luck is changing, the shifting is happening, and it's the right timing now. Also, the wheel is the 10. And it's new beginnings based on an already established foundation. And how interesting that it's right in the middle of the year, right? So we could almost say smack dab in the middle. That would be like the 30th, but we're close enough that you're like in the middle of the year. And so I feel like this is also a pivotal time. She's balancing on all of these wheels, and perhaps she's walking a little bit. She's got the light and sort of the dark light that's coming from her hands. So she's playing with the shadow and the light. She's not afraid of it. She's working it to her advantage. And that's what I keep seeing, is you're now working the energy to your advantage as you're shifting into the second half of the year. There's purpose behind the divine order. There are things that you're going to be able to do now in the second half of the year that you were not able to do prior to, because things weren't available, things weren't ready, you didn't have the correct resources, the right people. This is the time where you're going to start to notice, oh no, that is not the case now. I'm getting all the things that I need, and it's showing up pretty quickly. So I feel it's going to be a highly imaginative time, a highly creative time for you. And this is the beginning of it. This is the pivotal moment of it. And then, this right on through to the end of the year, you're really going to be moving and shaking in those positive ways. So I love that for you. Hope that makes some sense. Oh, can't hear you.
That was great, Stacy. Yeah, and I hope Terry liked that. And I want to mention that everybody should definitely be going and checking out all the Keone Productions shows. There's so many great ones on YouTube. And also, you want to go to Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. And what's so funny, I don't think we ever talked about this, but there was a time a few months ago where Keone had put out one of your videos, or was about to put it out, and forgot the feather. And so for a little while, it was Stacy the Black Intuitive. And I said, you better make sure that you change that, or people are going to be very surprised.
Oh my God! Well, and they'll be mad, and I'll be getting hate
You'll
mail.
You'll be the new Rachel Dolezal. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
That was so funny.
I'm glad you caught that.
But yeah, it's going to be a great month for everybody. Take advantage of that Gemini energy. Have fun, party, be safe, have sex, do everything you can. Take a vacation, read a book, whatever makes you happy, and make sure that you check out all of our videos that are coming up, and tune back in at the end of June, because we will be back and you can get your free reading if you do that. All right. So thank you so much for being here,
Not only
Stacey.
free readings or free horoscopes,
What?
guidance. People, we don't want to forget. We do tarot, we do free readings,
Yeah.
we've got horoscopes for you guys. So it's a lot that we will put into it. And I try to get as many people as possible. But before you give the goodbyes to everybody,
Yeah.
I want to show a little promo.
Oh.
I'm going to start doing it more at the beginning of the week. So I want to show it now. And I'm talking really slow and filibustering because it took me a second to get it loaded. So here we go. Give us 1 second and we'll come back and we'll wrap up.
Look at
So
that.
those
All
are
the
some
Keone.
pretty interesting ones. Lissette's show, which was yesterday, talked about mental awareness. We talked a lot about that. Pretty Smart, which is tomorrow. We'll talk about women's mental health. You guys saw Stacy and Dwayne. You're here, so you've seen that one. Asiatic Gen X is one of my favorite shows. It's hosted by an all Asian cast, and yesterday they talked about cross cultural things that seem weird to them. So things that we do in other cultures that seem weird to them. And then Mark Jones, which is the true crime show that we do. He films on location a lot. We're doing the episode on Judy Smith. You can check out his attempted Pope assassination, the Florence Monster, and a lot of other videos like that. And then the last one you saw was Big's Wild Ride. He tells stories about his crazy life, and the story that he's telling this week. His wife passed away last week, so we did a special for her. So he's still getting through that. And his show tomorrow is about him having to go stay with his aunt and uncle in Oklahoma, but stealing a car and turning it over and getting kicked out.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear about his wife. God,
Yeah, that's a shame.
that's terrible. Is that recent that happened?
Yes, recent. We did the show last week, and here's the sad part: 200 people watched got all positive, great comments, and then his stepdaughter just blows my phone up in utter disgust because she doesn't like him. So she's just, I'm calling lawyers, I'm doing this, this is so terrible. You guys are capitalizing. And I'm like, you don't understand what capitalizing is. We didn't ask for money or ask anyone to do anything. He was just reliving some awesome things that he did with his wife and sharing
Mm.
stories, and people chimed in with stories. It was laughter, it was fun. And when it got a little dark, I was to reel him back in because it is, it's a sad moment. But we wanted to do a celebration. So that's the only
Yeah.
negative to come out of it. So I kind of had to block her and be like, I don't need that energy. But yeah, but he's back to being him and telling great stories. So there you go, guys. That's a lot of shows. Hope you guys tune in and watch. And let's go ahead and round it up by telling them what we've got going on in your neck of the woods. I don't want to get sued. I just stole that line.
Okay, Schmal Smoker.
Well, I'll go first so that you can take us out. You can lead us out, Dwayne. So, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. What I've got going on coming up in the next couple of months really is a lot of my Phoenix journeys. So, if you're looking to get a little bit of guidance around your soul purpose and what your soul purpose is for this year and how to kind of focus on that for yourself, whether it's like a year proper or maybe it's your solar return, your birthday, and you're looking to get a little more guidance around the soul path for you, your soul's purpose. Phoenix Journey is a great way to go. We get a little bit of channeling in there. We get a card pull. We get some healing. You get reflective questions. There's a meditation that's connected with that. Also, I do a Phoenix 360, which is hugely popular. In fact, I'm doing one right after this show. You have a particular situation in your life, a particular topic that you can't seem to get unstuck with. You want to be able to see it from a 360 perspective, and you want to get that, that psychic guidance around that. This is sort of the way to go. So I'm just sort of featuring those over the next month or so, and really looking forward to it. Check out the blackfeatherintuitive.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and I would love to see you guys there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Stacy. And I'm Dwayne Dunleavy. You can find me at dwaynelive.com. And you might be able to see me live doing stand-up comedy at places like Peddler's Village or even in Cleveland, Ohio. You can buy my perfumes, my fragrances online as well. And I hope everybody enjoyed this session that we've had today. And we will see you next time on In the Stars with Dwayne and Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. See you guys next time. Keep looking up.